Hello, I'm Dina, consultant here in visual planning, the simple resource management and scheduling software. Today, I want to show you a quick demo about how to manage your field service team and simplify organizational workflows with visual planning to optimize your company's productivity. Whether you're a field service technician or a project manager, in this video, you will learn how to apply the following points into your workflow. Identifying the most appropriate resources to respond to requests based on their skills, availability, and location, scheduling interventions and tasks to employees, travel accommodation tracking, analysis, and monitoring of your activity history. The planner I will show you is a field service demo, which is great for companies that send out employees to work on external job sites. First, I log into visual planning and directly land on a dashboard with important information about my activity, such as interventions list, absentees for the week, interventions to be assigned, the weekly workload, as well as shortcuts to important displays. For example, if I select the intervention planning shortcut, I will find myself on the corresponding display. In this menu, we have on the left a list of the types of interventions as well as their possible statuses. On the right, a client schedule allows us to plan interventions by simply dragging and dropping a type of intervention on a client's line on the requested date. Then, visual planning preselects the list of equipment involved in the intervention, showing only the equipment owned by the selected client. As you can see, I simply scheduled a task that has a default duration of 10 hours. Each type of intervention can have a default duration, which can then be adjusted as needed by the planner. In this case, the intervention is planned in hours, but it could as well be planned for the day or half day depending on the needs of your activity. If I double-click on a client like this, a window with the client information will appear. Here we have the contact details, location and travel costs, and so on and so on. The whole information here in this window pop-up can be customizable to exactly what are you looking for. You can add budgetary data, such as the amount invoiced per intervention. The intervention is automatically pre-planned on a generic person called to be assigned. This element allows me to be able to plan the workload in the medium and long term without knowing the resource that will carry out the task. Along the same lines, the repeat feature allows me to easily schedule multiple recurring tasks. To do this, I must choose a repeat period, week or month for example, and set several occurrences or an end date for repetition. Once my load forecasts have been made, I will be able to use a right-click to access the assignment functionality and identify the resource to be assigned. The tool automatically suggests available people with the required skills and classifies them from closest to farthest from the place of employment. This makes it easy to identify the most appropriate resource for this intervention. Other allocation criteria than those mentioned can of course be put in place. Below the client schedule, you can simultaneously see the schedule of the staff assigned to the planned interventions. These two schedules are synchronized because the same information is presented from a different angle. We also have access to an overview of the overall and the individual workload of the staff represented on the workload schedule according to the schedule scale. Several other workload displays formats are available, as well as color thresholds to indicate a possible overload. There are, of course, several other features that allows the planner to easily manage the schedule. One of them is the fragmentation, which allows, with a simple right-click, to fragment a task according to the scale of your planning and thus to distribute it easily between several people. Otherwise, Our split insert feature allows, through a simple drag and drop and the Control key, to insert a task that might have been forgotten and to automatically shift all the following tasks. This also applies to the insertion of the staff schedule of an unplanned absence to automatically shift all future tasks affected by this absence. In the Agenda and Map menu, you can observe on one hand, over a given period or per staff, the planned interventions on a geographical map. On the other hand, if you select a staff member, his agenda displays at the bottom of the page with all his interventions or absence. The three windows being connected, the selection of an intervention on a person's agenda causes to be displayed on the geographical map. All the scheduled items can then be easily tracked down and analyzed in a client history tracking view. Let me click in my menu bar to do this layout. Here, the first window shows the list of the clients, and when I selected one of them, the other windows are updated with its information. We can see the selected customer equipment below. Then, on the right, we can see the history of the interventions carried out, which are sorted per equipment and classified in chronological order. Finally, visual planning can also be a reported tool with the Report Event functionality. It is possible to build some KPIs according to all the scheduled events. In the Statistical Reports menu, you can track up-to-date staff, equipment, and client data. All scheduled resources are reportable. Several forms of displays are possible to represent the data, such as histograms, tables, pie charts, curves, and so on. I hope you have a better understanding of visual planning and the solution it offers. For further information, or if you wish to register for a demo, visit our website www.visual-planning.com. Finally, follow us on our social media and stay tuned to all our content related to field service scheduling.